Hey, I'm FTFE, and welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what the Justice League did to Steppenwolf in the Snyder Cut. Something doesn't feel quite right. Why am I... Wait, hold on. Go for fight.
Where's Wally here? Hey Craig, you're probably wondering what's going on. Well, you and we're about to do a collaboration video.
Yeah, we're covering Taboo Conspiracy together, right?
Yeah, that's right, mate. So, I hope that explains things.
Well, not really. I'm upside down.
Yeah, I know. Happens all the time.
Wally, why am I upside down?
Well, I am from Australia, you know.
Okay, and?
Well, that's it, really. I'm in Australia. It makes sense for you to be upside down, if we're working together.
Wally, that makes no sense.
Yeah, gotta go, mate. Working on the video. You finish the intro. See you later.
Well, yeah, so where's Wally and I will be taking a look at a flat earth dumbass called Taboo Conspiracy for episode 55 of Flerfs Are Idiots.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Thank you for joining me once again to see how low human IQ can actually get. Taboo Conspiracy is one of the dumbest flat earthers. Like, I can't even fathom being that stupid, so to understand his videos a bit better, I'm going to get on the level of a Flerf. Shit! Ow! Shit! Ow! 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 Fuck! Emma! Ow!
What the hell were you thinking?
I thought I could just make myself as dumb as a flat earther.
You know what, Craig? You call flat earthers dumb, but you're the fucking idiot.
But I was just...
I don't want to hear it. You're sleeping on the couch tonight. Ugh. Why can't I just marry a normal person?
Well, I guess we should just take a look at what dumb shit Taboo Conspiracy is going to say.
Hello, everyone. My name is Taboo Conspiracy, and I'm a flat earther.
Vince, apparently they prefer the word retard.
Eh? Oh, how very quaint.
My topic for this presentation is, what does it mean to be a flat earther?
Oh, I know. It means you had a brain injury as a child.
We know that the media would proclaim that flat earthers are just stupid or uneducated, holding on to unproven, antiquated beliefs.
Yeah, that's right. That's a pretty accurate description of flat earth. I guess we're done here. Hit the like button and subscribe, and remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth. Fight the flat, fight the flat, fight the flat, fight the flat, fight.
Well, I have a bachelor's, a Juris Doctorate, and a master's, and many other flat earthers also have advanced degrees.
And not one flat earther has any kind of degree in physics. I've said for 2 years that if a flat earther comes forward who has a master's degree in physics and says the earth is flat, I'll delete my channel. But I'm still here.
Okay, so maybe we have the same formal education, but maybe we flat earthers are just ignorant of the heliocentric model.
No, you don't have the same formal education. See my previous statement. But yes, you all are very ignorant. That is true. 1 out of 2. That's 50%. Not bad for a flat earth idiot.
Surprisingly, nearly every flat earther knows more about the heliocentric model than your typical ball earther.
Oh, dear me.
No, you flat earthers do not understand the heliocentric model better than us.
Now that I think about it, the sun, we're told, is a big gaseous ball burning in space in a vacuum. By the way, since we're on the subject of vacuums, fire, the element by which the sun exerts its energy, and I don't care if it's nuclear fission or what, it's still fire, needs what element, folks, in order to continue to burn? Oxygen.
Let me tell you what a ball earther believes. They believe all of the planets, moons, asteroids, meteors, and satellites of our solar system are chasing after the sun that is flying around our galaxy at a speed of 514,000 miles per hour.
As normal, a Flerf strawmans the heliocentric model to then claim that his particular strawman is ridiculous. Bad start in understanding the heliocentric model better than us. No, the planets are not chasing the sun. The entire solar system is orbiting the centre of the galaxy. The reason for this is the entire solar system can be classed as one large gravitational well, and it's that gravitational well that orbits the even larger gravitational well of the supermassive black hole at the centre of our galaxy. It's only ridiculous to you because, well, you're a fucking idiot.
Ball earthers believe that a comet, like Halley's Comet, can get yanked back every 75 years and catch right back up with a zooming solar system right on schedule. That's stupid.
Nope, not how that happens. Halley's Comet never leaves the solar system. It just comes close enough to Earth to be seen with the naked eye every 75 years. Like everything else in the solar system, Halley's Comet is orbiting the centre of the galaxy with us, as part of the combined gravitational well of every object in the solar system.
They believe that even though the Earth is wobbling, spinning, and vortexing through the vacuum of space at insane speeds, that the North Star has never changed position in recorded history, simply because it's really, really, really far away.
Again, not how that works. The North Star has moved. On screen now is a link to a website by MC Toon with historical records of the position of Polaris and its changes over time. Sailors have to plot the changing position of stars or celestial navigation wouldn't have worked. Reports from history show that the position which all stars rotate around has changed. For instance, the Greek navigator Pythagoras in 320 BC described the celestial pole as devoid of stars.
That the North Star has never changed position in recorded history.
That's awkward.
They believe that all of the wobbling, spinning, and vortexing through space cannot be felt, measured, or detected on Earth.
Yo, Bob.
If the Earth is spinning at one rotation every 24 hours, that means that every hour it has to turn 15 degrees. And if the gyroscope is mounted anywhere on Earth, it's going to drift. In today's 21st century navigation systems, they're using what's called a ring laser gyroscope. It is extremely precise. If we could simply get one of these ring laser gyroscopes, we would be able to prove once and for all that there is no rotation to the Earth. One of the people in the community actually purchased one for $20,000. But what we found is when we turned on that gyroscope, we found that we were picking up a drift. A 15-degree-per-hour drift.
Thanks, Bob.
Einstein himself said there was no optical experiment that can detect the Earth's motion. That's stupid.
You're stupid because you quote mined a scientist who says in the very statement that you quote mined that the Earth is revolving around the sun. Einstein, in this case, was talking about the specific results of the Murchison-Morley experiment, which flat earthers also don't understand.
They believe that the sun and moon only appear to be the same size in our sky, based solely on an impossible coincidence.
Okay, one last time. These are small, but the ones out there are far away. Small, far away.
I don't know what to say. This guy's a fucking genius.
They believe that our pressurized atmosphere is adjacent to an inconceivably powerful vacuum without any effect whatsoever on our air supply or anything else. That's stupid.
And we get to the biggest straw man ever. The atmosphere is right next to a vacuum and nothing happens. That's wrong twice in one shot. Good job. We actually lose about 90 tons of atmosphere to space every day, and also the atmosphere isn't next to a vacuum. A very low pressure is next to a slightly higher pressure, which 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 is next to a slightly higher pressure, until we get to sea level, where it's about 14.7 psi. It's the reason there is noticeably less pressure at the top of Everest compared to the bottom, and this gradient of pressure is caused by...
Gravity, you fucking retard! Gravity! Have you ever heard of fucking gravity? Gravity! Gravity!
They believe that the bulge of the Earth can disappear and relocate many miles further while leaving objects in between unaffected, like in this infamous Black Swan video from BMLSB 69. Relocating geometric horizons in Earth bulges while not affecting the objects in between, that's stupid.
We've cooked the Black Swan many times. In fact, I'm kind of sick of Swan. Refraction is a fucking thing. Light bends, and to demonstrate this perfectly, we will use the Black Swan image. You said nothing in between was affected. Then please, explain this fucking crane to me.
They believe that the alleged ISS spaceship, which most certainly looks like a kid's model, which was never assembled on Earth for testing, is actually falling perpetually at 17,000 miles per hour in the vacuum of space. That's stupid.
Jesus, tap dancing Christ. Why would they assemble and test something on Earth that is designed to spend its entire life cycle in space? And we know that it is going at 17,000 miles an hour and is in space because Red's Rhetoric and Astronomy Live measured the speed and altitude of it. Check this video for proof. You know what? I think that you've demonstrated that you in fact have no clue what the heliocentric model claims, and all you have is ignorance and stupidity. I think it's time that flat earthers present some evidence that the Earth is flat and non-rotating instead of just making up stupid strawman claims and saying they are impossible. I'm putting my foot down. I'm going to wait right here until a flat earther presents me with evidence of the Earth being flat and non-rotating. What's that, young flatty? Did you bring some evidence? Don't let old fights scare ya. Let's see what you got.
They believe the alleged ball planet of Pluto coincidentally happens to have an unmistakable Disney Pluto dog on it. That's stupid.
Holy fuck, you've got dumber. I wonder if the remedial classroom's still a thing. You need to go there. Okay class, I'm back after my little break. I've been told the headmaster had a word with you after Mrs. Fight ran out of the school screaming last week. I hope we can get through this without too much interruption. Mrs. Thompson and Mr. Whitsitt, why are you sitting with your backs to each other on separate sides of the class? What's that? Nathan stole your toys? Nathan, is that true? You say the toys were given to you, so you took them. Well, no, Nathan, those toys are for everyone to play with. Well, they have your name on them now because you just wrote it on with crayon. Oh, good job on writing your name, by the way. But no, you don't get to keep everything to yourself. Anyway, today we are going to talk about pareidolia. Pareidolia can cause humans to see faces and other familiar objects in shapes, like seeing a face in a rock or a unicorn in the clouds, or even Pluto the dog on the dwarf planet Pluto. This happens because the brain fills in the gaps to allow us to quickly make sense of the world around us. But that doesn't mean that those things are real. So because a mountain happens to look like a giant tree stump, for instance, doesn't mean that it is. No, I didn't just say that mountains are trees. No, I said they might look like... Please, no, don't be so stupid. Where's those pills the doctor gave me? Class dismissed. I need to take a nap. That young Wally fella can take over for a while.
Hello, everyone.
Taboo Conspiracy. Well, he seems to think that rockets don't go into space and that they fall into the water out to sea.
In this video, you can hear the child proclaim that the so-called space rocket is actually falling down, as it truly is. Just listen.
It's drifting. That's bad.
It's doing good so far.
Is it? Is that what always happens? Does it always go like that?
Yep.
It looks bad to me. It's in space. Or is it? Is that it?
I think that's it.
Rockets don't go to space. They arc and fall in the water, as you can see in numerous examples. The child gets it because he hasn't been programmed extensively enough to unquestioningly accept NASA. Instead, the adult, under a hypnotic state, won't allow himself to question his many years of space indoctrination, even though his eyes tell him otherwise. What do your eyes tell you? Just look at the space shuttle launch. Does any person here really think that that space shuttle is in space? It's laughable.
Well, mate, this is a matter of perspective, and we all know how flatties just love perspective. I took this footage by Red's Rhetoric. It's a classic view of a rocket launch, and this time it was the Atlas V AEHF-5 launch on the 8th of August 2019. Now I've sped it up a little bit just to save time, but you can see it goes up and appears to come down. But if you watch it from a different perspective, then we see this. So what I did was I found 3 other cool videos of the exact same launch, but taken from different places, different angles, and we see things a little differently. Now add to this the fact that flatties just don't understand launch profiles, because a rocket is only going straight up for the first few seconds, maybe a minute. Then it very quickly starts arcing over. Now this is because getting into orbit is not so much about getting up to 400 kilometers above the surface, but getting to the speed of 27,600 kilometers an hour that's needed to stay there. So in just a minute, the rocket is moving away from you much faster than it's going up. Now, if you're finding that a little difficult to understand, let's say you're on a small country road and you want to join this huge autobahn. Would you prefer to use a T-intersection or a long on-ramp? It's pretty obvious when you think about it like that. So it seems it isn't our eyes that's the problem, but it's our brain that's doing the thinking. Or perhaps it's the flattie's brain that's not doing the thinking that's the issue. Okay, that's enough from me now. Back to Craig. I said back to Craig. Craig? Maybe somebody should check his pulse. Well, I guess I'll just have to carry on from now. I'm going to have a look at Amy and Simon Dan and the clear flame from the Apollo launch.
So, let's start with this one. One other thing. Notice that there is no thrust from the nozzle. Yes, there should have been a huge flame and obvious light source from the nozzle.
No, there shouldn't. Here is a short clip from the Vintage Space YouTube channel telling us why.
But the lunar module didn't burn the same combination of fuel and oxidizer. Instead, it used hypergolic fuels, or hypergols. Hypergols burn on contact. They don't need an ignition source, which means all you have to do is open a valve, let the two mix, and boom, you're off. Which is great with spaceflight because that's one less thing to worry about. Another characteristic of hypergols is that they typically burn clear. This is the case of the lunar module. Both the lunar module ascent stage and descent stage used a mix of aerosine 50 and dinitrogen tetroxide, a fuel and an oxidizer that burn on contact with a characteristic clear flame.
I do have to commend NASA for using a beautiful propagandist. It's a wonderful change from Simon Dan, and it strangely makes me want to conform. Even though she's hot, she isn't telling you the truth.
Oh, Taboo, you do sound a little bit creepy there. Just stop and listen to what Amy's saying.
Anyways, did you notice that she used the words clear flame?
So what you failed to grasp, Taboo Conspiracy, is that hydrazine is burning in a very uncontrolled way in this little experiment outside the university. The mix ratios are, well, very random. Rich, obviously very rich in one part, but it's certainly not controlled like it would be inside the rocket engine, which would be designed to mix the fuels very efficiently and to produce the least waste and the most power. Another thing that you missed there, Taboo, would be that it's on the moon and it's in a vacuum. So there's no other little side reactions going on, unlike in the atmosphere here on Earth, which is full of oxygen, nitrogen, and a whole pile of other little bits and pieces which may well be producing those coloured byproducts.
So the question is whether the hypergolic fuel mixture of the Apollo 15 and Apollo 17 ascent stages would have burned clear, and thus mostly invisible from the remote-controlled camera on the moon. She was right about the alleged fuel used by the lunar lander movie prop. It was an alleged mixture of dinitrogen tetroxide and Aerozine 50. It sounds so impressive. But is the flame from the hypergolic propellant invisible, as she claimed? Yes, there should have been a huge flame and obvious light source from the nozzle.
No, there shouldn't.
Who thinks Simon Dan is lying to you?
Well, Taboo, I certainly see a problem with what you've just demonstrated here. But if Amy is too smart and too feminine for you to listen to, how about you try someone who's, like, manly? Real manly. How manly? How about Scott Manly?
So, during the Sky Crane, we get to see a whole bunch of weird stuff we didn't quite expect. First of all, those engines, they look awfully dark. It's almost as if they're not working. Now, obviously they're working. We can see the exhaust pushing the surface of Mars around. These are hydrazine monopropellant thrusters. Hydrazine is a molecule with 2 nitrogens and then 4 hydrogens around the outside. And they drive that through a catalyst that causes it to decompose mainly into nitrogen and hydrogen and possibly a bit of ammonia. This is an exothermic reaction that produces temperatures of about 1000 Celsius, but by the time it expands through that nozzle, it's cooled down and recombined. There's no more active components, so it's just optically thin and it's not really producing any visible flame.
Well, that's all for me. Back to fight. Oi, fight.
Huh? What? Are we done? Good, because that's all the stupid that me and my old heart can take. But before I go, I want to give a massive, massive thanks to all my members and patrons. Your incredible generosity allows me to continue doing what I love to do full time and bring you the Flerf busting content that you love. All members and patrons can join a special room in my Discord, and top level members and patrons can contact me for some free merch. To join the team, head to patreon.com/FTFE to become a patron, or hit the join button next to the subscribe button to become a member and get to use cool emojis in the chat. And thank you. Thank you for watching, young'uns. If you enjoyed what you saw, hit the like button and subscribe so you see some of it before I pass away. And thanks to Wally for helping young whippersnapper he is. Remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth. Fight the flat. 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 Fight the flat.